Okay, here we go. It's James Middick speaking. We're live. It's Wednesday. We got an open coaching call. No idea if anyone's going to come on today. Well, hopefully someone will. And if that's if it's you, feel free to open up the chat there on the right-hand side. Ask your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if no one does come on, that's cool too. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that's happening in the background. And specifically, the thing I was wanting to kind of focus on today is this whole idea of a workflow or kind of a process working through all of the stuff that happens with YouTube videos and more importantly, online courses and the materials that I end up creating on a regular basis. And over the last, 6 months, I've been plugging away, creating all sorts of tutorials and live streams, just basically working along as best I can to build out a workflow, more importantly, learn how to do some things that are specific to YouTube and not necessarily specific to online courses. And we got Smirk Station on. Hey, Smirk Station, nice to see you or meet you for that matter. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the chat and I'll make sure to answer them. So if there are no questions, what I normally do is just talk about something in the background or some of the other tools that we're working on or processes that we're working on the site. And if you've missed some of the other videos, it's awfully hard. If you've been around this for a long time, it's awfully hard to stay focused with all of the things that are changing so quickly. And I'm talking specifically about all of the AI stuff and content creation. And then more importantly, how to monetize information now, because all of the ways that we're generating content are not necessarily our own anymore. So it's getting to be a little bit tougher. Things are changing pretty quickly there. And I think they're going to even accelerate in the amount of changing that's happening here. So, looking at making courses, and I think the question was, just about make a course. My personal thing, and I talked about this yesterday, actually about the 5 kind of streams, and maybe I'll touch on it now. I think the idea of a course, let me see if I can bring up my notes on that one. One of the things that, here's one of the things that I did. I'll open this up actually. This is one that I put together. And for the notes on this, and hopefully it'll show up properly. And again, if there's any questions with this, just let me know. So here's some of the ideas that I was just doing as my research yesterday about some of the changes that are happening in the creator business or the online course business. So one of the things that I do is I write down notes. I check out other people's videos. There's a couple tools that I use, one called Glasp, that actually archives some of the stuff, put it together. And the thing that happens is after I put these notes together, I usually build out some kind of mind map, and I'll show you that one now. The one that I actually used yesterday for the little session that I did in the video, it was about 26 minutes long. I was just talking about some of the things that are happening in the space for courses and kind of my predictions. And this has to do with courses and what I'm talking about, how things are changing. So let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger here so we can see it or have it. Let's do 100% and I'll move it around. So here's the thing that's kind of happening is I think that the course or selling a course or creating a course, I don't think, again, this is personally, and again, I'm talking about particular markets, but the idea of a course is something that's going to end up being like way too competitive for people to actually earn money with it. And it's going to be a lot of content or course content that may not be about a personal story or personal experience. It's going to be content that has been generated or more importantly, curated or put together by some of the tools that are available. I know if you go to a search, if you start searching, for example, on Facebook or on Google or any of the particular tools about course creation, and then you go to some of the social media platforms, you're going to find that they're, every second post in a thread is about someone selling a tool for a course, or someone doing something about creating a course and how you can earn a whole bunch of money creating a course. So I don't think the course by itself is something that you might want to kind of think that through a little bit further, and notice that here's the thing I think is going to happen is it's going to be more of a flipped classroom as opposed to kind of a flipped course. And what do I mean by that is that you're going to end up that you're going to have to be live and in person in some form where you can share your experience and actually help people explain what it is, or actually teach what it is that you're trying to do for a transformation. And then the course or the videos are going to be supplemental to that. So I don't think it's enough for a course now to say, here's the content, here's your course content, and leave it at that. You're going to have to supplement it and guide people through that transformation. And, I think you're going to end up being something that you're going to have to learn how to teach, or at least be available to teach. So that's kind of the first thing that I noticed. And this is going to become even more important as the amount of crappy courses kind of get slopped in to all of this. So that's the first one that was there. Let me just open this one a little bit bigger so you can see it. So hopefully you'll be able to see it. So, course first, there's a couple things. It's about content, and you got to keep on creating content. You're not promising any transformations. It's all about the content. So I think it's going to be course second, where you're going to have unique classes, cohorts, workshops, live Zoom calls, live streams on YouTube, personalized support, and you're going to guarantee specific outcomes if people actually do the work. So the course is going to be to supplement that as a resource, not to teach it. So you're going to have to be done in teaching. So that's kind of the first thing I kind of, and I'm generalizing in some sense. It's like, I don't know what your market is or what it is that you're teaching or how you need to teach it, to share your experience. But I think there's going to be some big changes there if you want to actually earn some money in an education business. And that's the other piece that is kind of interesting. And I think you're seeing that now is that as people talk about courses and selling courses, the thing that's going to happen is it's not necessarily the course that is going to be the revenue generator in your business. It's going to be all of the other tools and services and information servers and implementation services that are the ones that are going to be generating the majority of the revenue, and it's going to be supplemented by courses. So I think that's going to be interesting, something that's going to happen there. The second thing that just to keep in the back of your mind is flipped funnel. So I talked about this in the other video, and what it has to do with courses is if you take a look at what most people are doing in courses, and I'll just open this up for you now so that you can see it. Hopefully we get a little bit bigger there. Let me just minimize these ones so they're out of the way. There we go. So the flipped funnel. If you're going to be selling a course, the traditional way to sell a course right now is to look at it, from that traditional, it's like your funnel, right? And it's like you're trying to find your target market, generate leads, generate traffic to get them into some kind of opt-in, and then some kind of entry-level course. And then as they get further down in your funnel, it's like you want to keep on selling them bigger, better courses, more information, and then you're going to kind of get them down. I think that funnel is going to flip. And the reason is because of YouTube. And YouTube is basically the content courses that people don't have to purchase anymore. So, if you're out selling a course, which is, 10 ways to do this or 4 steps to do that, and it's content, and it's not about a transformation or people actually doing work, it's just sharing content. You can't sell that anymore as a product, as a course, as a standalone course, or even it's hard to get people to opt in because they can go and just do a search on YouTube, which is owned by Google and the second largest place to actually generate that content. So the whole idea of that flipped funnel is you're going to have to create YouTube content as the foundation of your business and use YouTube as the marketing engine. In the past, I think it was, you look for SEO optimization and you look for things like doing blog posts and written text and all these other things, hoping that you'd get some kind of traffic to your website, or social media generating people traffic to your website. And then, before it was at the top of the funnel, you had to do that. I think what's happening now is you're going to have to build out your audience, or that group of people that identify and say, hey, yeah, I'm on board with this. I agree with you on this. So that kind of piece is going to be the foundation. And what you're going to do is you're going to start getting those people who know, like, and trust you because of your YouTube content. The job then is to monetize those people through all sorts of different information products that promise you to teach people and guide people personally on a transformation. And that's why things like the cohorts, you'll see workshops or timed workshops or released courses or group coaching. And then the other thing is products. You're going to find that people have the information, but they want to save time. So I think things like templates, checklists, other materials that are about your particular topic, that's going to be a big supplement now, or even a place to generate some revenue. And then finally, you're going to have people that are, the super fans or whatever you want to call them, but they're all in, and they actually just say, hey, I'm willing to have you help me do it, and or I want you just to do it, and you're going to be able to generate revenue from the service side and the actual hands-on personalization services of all the stuff that you've been talking about in these tiny little chunks on YouTube. So that's kind of what's happening. Flipped classroom, flipped funnel, and then the other thing, again, that's kind of interesting is this whole idea of if that's the case that you're going to be on YouTube, the question is, do you actually need a website? There's a whole bunch of different models to host your business and host your community. So, and because the community is actually on YouTube, and all the changes with YouTube, you can actually sell courses on YouTube now. You can actually get paid for your community and memberships on YouTube now. You can generate revenue from ads, from merchandise, all sorts of stuff are there. And then, you're building out your community. Again, that foundation at the bottom, and then what do I do with it, and how do I make that happen? And there's some standalone services that are outside of WordPress. Go High Level has Colab. There's School, which is kind of popular right now. There's even Substack, which is a service that's been around for ages for text, but they've now added videos and audios and coaching and the ability to have members paid there. And of course, I'm still big on building out the campuses on WordPress. Having ownership of all your content. I think that's a good place to have it. So those are the things with courses. I think courses are just a small piece of it, and I wouldn't get too hung up on saying, hey, here's the only thing that happens is it's all about courses. So I'm just going to see if anyone else is online here, any more chats going on. And we'll play around with all of the different stuff here. One of the things is with chats is I'm not overly on board with it, just because I haven't played around with it enough right within Ecamm. So I'm still learning how to do that. Again, if you do have some chats, put them in, and I'll do my best to answer any of the questions. So having said that, the question becomes, how do I actually create courses or create content for YouTube? And, to do the YouTube videos, what's the actual process that has to happen? Or how does that, how can you do it quickly and get content out? And again, this is what I've been trying. I don't have all the answers for it yet. I'm betting that this is where it's going, and I'm actually seeing it from the other people that I follow that I've been learning from as well. And they're kind of doing part of it, but not exactly the way that I think it's going to be growing. They're starting to. So if you go back, actually, if you go to YouTube and you just look at people who are creating YouTube videos, what you'll find is for the last, I don't know, 2, 3 years, it's like someone may have 3 videos, maybe 4 videos a month that they can publish. And the videos tend to have all sorts of editing and all sorts of additional kind of B-roll and fancy edits. And in fact, a lot of the people take a video of themselves or actually do a screen capture, do something like that. And then they have to take a couple hours to edit it to get it so that they're happy with it, or they actually have to send it out to someone else to do the editing, and then it gets back. So the amount of time it takes to actually create the content takes a long time. It's back and forth, back and forth. Or if you're doing it yourself, it's like, I do the video, it takes me 3 hours to actually capture the video, maybe take me another 4 or 5 hours to go and do the edits the way that I wanted it, make changes, redo stuff, do different edits. So you're looking at a day a week just on creating a video for YouTube. And if you look at a lot of the people that, have been on for 3-4 years, you'll see that they were at that, 1 to 4 kind of videos, maybe 5 videos a month. And the thing that's interesting is that those people now are creating videos more regularly. So I've got some of the people that I follow right now, they're doing, every 3 days or every 4 days now. So they may get 7, 8, 10 videos in a month, whereas before they were maybe doing 3 to 4. And the way that they're doing that is doing far less editing while it's they're creating the videos or the how-to videos. So it's almost as if they're getting rid of the editing process or minimizing the editing process. And everyone's kind of been talking about that, about being authentic and not having these things, just being in front of the camera like I am without any particular notes, just talking about some of the stuff they're seeing. So that kind of content is becoming more popular, and more importantly, less editing and less work to create them. So the volume of content is increasing on YouTube, whereas the amount of editing is decreasing. So that's kind of the part that I'm seeing there, that more people are all in on YouTube, on educating people, providing content that's curated and organized around a particular topic, categories, and questions or challenges with those. So having said that, what is going to happen and what I think is going to happen from here, and this is what I'm doing, rightly or wrongly, it's my best guesstimate, so we'll see what happens. But I think that live editing and even live streams on a regular basis are going to be the big thing in 2025. And when I'm talking about live edits, I'm talking about some of the tools like Riverside, Streamlabs, OBS is an app on the Windows side. I'm using one called Ecamm, and that gives me ability to create scenes and work through scenes and zoom stuff, for example. I even have one for a video pencil where I can write on a pencil, for example, and have it actually show up on the screen there. And yeah, let me just do a white one here so you can see it there. So I can write on the screen and have that go. So this doesn't require us to go and actually put something out to an editor, or more importantly, we don't have to record it and then go and edit and switch between all of these particular topics. So that's going to be kind of cool. It's going to be live editing, and I even think the ability to interact with people or answer questions live on the fly that people have about their specific issue or their specific questions, and have it addressed by someone who's kind of teaching it or guiding people through that or answering specific questions based on their experience. That's where I think it's going to be going. So you're going to see a big increase in volume on YouTube content. Content is going to be using live editing, and you're going to see a lot more people who are doing it as live streams and not recording and having that. So why am I talking about this? So the reason that I think we're all in this space is because if you're going to build an education business, there's a couple things that happen with that content you get created from doing all the live streams. And that is, you can actually organize it and curate it and turn it into what you want to call a course and put that into your campus and have it as an asset that you can then use to further educate people who have said, hey, I'm interested in this. I need all of the answers, or I have specific answers. Can you help me? And they're going to get involved in your audience or community, whatever you want to call it, on your campus. So that's going to be kind of neat to see what happens with that. The other thing that I kind of talked about yesterday, and I'm just recapping on this because I think it's important, is you're going to find that the whole idea of a TV series or keeping people in the sequence or categories or topics that you have kind of built out or focused on your solution, that stuff is actually going to happen for you. So hopefully that helps a little bit. The course part, if you want to know specifically how to create a course, I do have some resources available for you that I'll put in the links below. But you know, and as much as a course, I think you got to really spend some time and figure out, you know, what am I going to do with this and how am I going to put it all together. So let me just open up actually the campus map that I have. What do we want to do there? Let me just do, I'm just going to do file open, see if we can get one here. Just going to see if I have a campus map here. Just, where are we? Do I have one open? No, I don't. So let me see if I can get one more open. These are actually, these are all the different videos that I've done. And that was actually one of the things I wanted to show you was how I'd actually set this one up. That's unfortunate. I don't have the one. There we go. Let's do the, where's that one? There we go. Okay, so if you're just seeing that for the first time, this is available for download, and I'll minimize this particular one. This is the campus map that I have for kind of your education business and how it fits in. And this red ones are all about, you know, starting your education business. The green ones are all about building your education business, and these kind of off blue ones are about growing your education business. So these are the three kind of pieces: the start, build, and grow. And the big thing that I think that's happening here is creating this content in number 6. And I didn't say building courses; I said building content. So the courses are just part of it there. And the next part is about learning paths or the transformation paths. So, you know, you don't have, people don't start as an expert. I've used the baseball analogy. It's like if you have, or you're just building a relationship with someone, or, you know, you meet the girl or the guy of your dreams, you don't ask them to marry on the first date. It's like you have to work through the bases. You've got to go through all of the different parts of the first base, second base, third base. When you're looking from a baseball analogy, it doesn't just happen that, you know, you hit the home run the first time you're at the bat when you've never played before. So it takes some time to go through this, and you know, building out additional pieces of information that guide people through those steps, whether it be a beginner, intermediate, advanced, or it's about the starting, building, and growing. There's a step or set of process that you've got to go through. And those courses have to have a path through them, or the assets and things that you provide have to have a path through them. So those are the kind of pieces that I've been thinking about. And then the steps. How long am I going on this? The steps on how to create the content. If you want, I can go over those ones just so that you see them as to what's happening there. Again, if there's any other questions, let me know. Put it in the chat. And I'll do my best to be specific if I can, and actually go through those. Maybe what I'll do is I'm going to show you kind of what I'm working on for the next video or the next kind of session. So you'll see what's happening there. This is kind of the research that I was doing in the past here. So I'm just going to get rid of these ones. Let me do this one. There we go. Yeah, so this is the one that's actually happening right now. And I'm trying to figure out, or a lot of people are asking me, it's like, how do you create the course content? Or how do you create the video that you're going to do as a live stream, or that you're going to create a video about for a particular course? What are all the pieces that are involved there? So I do have, this is actually going to be a course because it's a process from the start to an end. And I want to be able to show people that if they do these things, they will be able to have a video at the end of it. And that video can be a YouTube video. It can be a lesson for your particular course, or it could be part of a live teaching or cohort, but it's a process that's kind of mapped out. So, there's a whole bunch of things to kind of put together here that are independent of the information. This isn't necessarily the information. This is the actual steps that you've got to go through to create it. And let me just, I think the prep here, let me do, yeah, the steps here are interesting because I use research, a mind map, then I use my teleprompter to, do my research on kind of the pieces that I'm going to do. I use ChatGPT, Claude, and NotebookLM to actually put those pieces together. And then from there, what I'll do is collect all of that information in a Google Doc. So for example, there, putting it all together. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use ChatGPT to really build out a syllabus or a plan or some structure to a particular lesson and or course, and then be able to generate the content for it. That's a process that you have to go through to actually generate the content. But if you have the content done, or you have to actually produce the content, that's the part that goes through. And if you're not, I think I'm going to do one thing just to let people who are watching this after the fact, just to have something to consider, is when you are doing your research or putting stuff together, there's 4 tools that I always, kind of, and actually one of them might not be needed as much anymore, but there's Perplexity for the search engine. I don't go to Google, I go to perplexity.ai. That's where I do the searches for getting all the background information or the reference information. And again, the thing that's cool about that is these are live searches, information that comes up right away for people. So that part's kind of neat there. Then there's the Notebook LM and Claude are the ones that I'm favorite because you can actually build projects and keep all of this information that you've done in research and put it in one place. Now, if you do research in these tools, it may not be research that other people have already done beforehand. So the one that I do spend some time with is if we go to YouTube, for example. I'll open up YouTube when my keyboard comes back here. Time's out. There we go. So if I open up YouTube and I find someone or something that I like or something that is worthwhile for me, what I'll do is, let me just go, here's one here. This is one about Ecamm. There's one of the tools that we have, some fixes, focus on storytelling. Here's one here. So for example, there's Christy, actually a Camtasia editor, someone I follow, has done work for me in the past. He's actually doing a live stream right now just to see what's happened. Focus on storytelling. It's actually interesting. If we go take a look at some of the people that you follow, you're going to see that a lot of them are live streams again, which is exactly what I was talking about. Let me just see if I can find one that's a good one. Here's one here. So here's Omar. Used to be with Think Media. If I go and open up this particular video,
the 2 most common problems.
And what I'm going to do is we'll just play it so you can see it.
Coaching, consulting, and training companies like yours and mine face is either 1,
There we go. So Omar's here. One of the things that I do is don't be afraid to research other people's content and summarize it so that you can actually use it. So the tool that I use is called GLASP. And what I do on this one is there's a little button and it summarizes the entire transcription and puts it together. Okay, let's see what we can do here. ChatGPT gave me a error. Let's see if we can run it again. Of course, when I want to show something, it doesn't necessarily work. There we go. Okay. So there's a particular summary that comes up. Right now, the prompt that I had was only 3 summaries, but you can actually change it to have 10 summaries or whatever you want. In fact, that's what I did here on some of the videos that were put together, where I just got all of the pieces and put them together using that tool and having it actually generate the content for me, and then using that content to generate additional content to map out the mind map, which is the other piece that I showed you earlier. So it's keeping track of those resources and reference material, putting it into some kind of map so that it makes sense, and then a whole bunch of other steps that go into this particular workflow. And then, actually physically recording it so that there's no answers. And I think, one of the things that's kind of scary is if I look at this right now and someone says, how do I make a course? I wish it was as easy as everyone makes it out to be. And there's a lot of moving pieces with courses, and doing them so that they're saleable takes more than just recording something and generating some text from ChatGPT or whatever. A couple other things I'll just show you. And again, if there's any questions, let me know. There's not many people on today, which is fine. That's cool. I can live with that. This part here, this workflow, what I'm doing with it is I'm also going to show you when this actually gets created is, let me just open one of these up. We got another screen here. Yeah, so let's open this one up. Just looking for, let me do this one. I'm just going to open up another screen. I'm going to show you the tool that I'm using to actually do this. So you can actually see what actually happens in the background and how it actually gets worked on, and how to organize the process that you're going through all of the resources. So I'm using a tool called Boards, and I'm just opening up in the background here, and once that one's open, I'll put it so that you can actually see it, and we'll go from there. Just take a second for us. What's going on here? Maybe my bandwidth isn't good, so try this one more time. Okay, let's see. We got some bandwidth. Yes, no, maybe. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we're going to open this one up. So I use a tool called Fluent Boards, which is a project management one that works right within within WordPress. So let me just do one that's kind of interesting here. Here's one here. I'm just going to open one up. This is a particular template that I use to actually create the content or the steps that are required to do that. So I'm going to go through all of these and how I use the labels to organize them based on the topical authority map, which is step 1 of the campus map. Some labels to understand it, setting dates and times, a place for our brainstorm notes, which is a folder where I save all the Google documents and research that's been done, picking whether or not the type of video that's being created, is it, some is a demo or review, is it a tips and tricks, is it a lesson, any links to particular videos that are there, and then going through kind of the pieces that are involved for the information that go through. And let me just go one other thing. Attachments. And here's the other one. It's like, here's, generate YouTube title, description, and thumbnail. Update or create affiliate links and resources mentioned in the video description. Generate a Canva graphic for the thumbnail. And again, this applies to courses as well as it does for YouTube. Update the YouTube settings, including an end screen and cards. Convert the finished video transcription into course lesson content. Convert YouTube video description to a new microcourse description. And again, this is one of the pieces I use for marketing it. And then confirm the YouTube image for LearnDash course featured image. So there's just an example of some of the steps that are being kept track of through the process of creating a lesson and or course. And so this is just one kind of piece. Some of the stuff's done post stream. So how am I going to promote it after? How do I manage the different information that's there? What are the things that happen for show notes and the assets that are mentioned? So, do you mention some affiliate products or tools or resources or links to other products and services? How do you manage all of those? Even stuff about setting up your studio to do stuff. Like, do you turn off your desktop and phone notifications? Do you do a camera check? Do you have to do a microphone check? Have you got, your Stream Deck that actually does, let me just see if I can hold that. So this is actually one that switches between the live edits. The mind maps, do you have the tabs that are open for this? Pre-show, and then post ones. Do I need to trim it a little bit because I mucked up? I try to do live edits as best I can, but sometimes you have a pause or something's wrong. You can go and certainly clean it up as well there. And then also things to actually have. If you're using the content for a course, or you're using the content you're creating to generate leads, or on YouTube, it's like, how do you, put it together with all of the other pieces, where they're promotional pieces? How does it fit into, is it a free course or free lesson? Is it part of a closing or an introduction? Is it something that's part of a lead magnet? So making sure that you understand where it fits into your business can also change things as well. I think there's a lot of here to kind of play around with. And if you go through them, the nice thing is what I'm learning personally here is that all of these pieces are involved in building an education business and building a community and building out people who say, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. They've done it or not done it. These are the things that I need to learn if I want to do something similar. And, do I like the way this guy presents it or the way she presents it? Do I feel comfortable with them? And it's all about building out the community. Again, that audience that knows, likes, and trusts you already, the first part of the sales process. And, and then into monetizing them, where they're going to need hands-on help to actually create all of it. So it's kind of interesting times with, all of that working through. And I'm, for me personally, what's happening with our business, and I'll just share a little bit about what's happening. There's a lot of people that have been online for a long time, like me, and you see like cycles or ways that your business changes over time. And some people call it a pivot. It's often a little bit about, how do I make sure that I'm earning money or generating the revenues that I need for the lifestyle and the goals that I have in my business, which is step 2 from the mind map, my campus map. But making sure that what you're doing with your business actually fits in to the purpose and the goals of your business. And the thing is, if you've been online for a long time, that doesn't stay static. It's like you may look and go, hey, I got something that I'm going to work on for now, but life happens, the technology changes, the opportunities change. So you do pivots or move through all of these different times of your business career. And for me personally, what's happening is based on what I'm seeing, and more importantly, what I like doing, uh, we're gonna. I think for me personally, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna be creating YouTube videos as fast as I can, as live as I can, with as few or as little edits as I can, doing live edits on the fly. I'm going to practice doing those, get better at teaching the content within it and structuring it in a proper way. But I'm going to be creating all of this content because I think that's the only way that you can be competitive moving forward, is with publishing and treating yourself as a media company with your unique experiences, which I've had lots of. The revenue is going to be generated not necessarily from the sale of courses, but for the servicing of the individual people and their unique situations moving forward. So, what does that mean to me personally when working through this? Is I'm going to be doing these YouTube videos. I'm switching the software actually that runs the community part and how the YouTube videos are being introduced to that. And I'm not doing any of the fancy websites anymore. The whole goal of the website is going to be the community site. So I'm just going to put people into that community site, and I'm not looking for thousands and thousands of people to become part of that community. When I say community, it doesn't necessarily mean it's got to be hundreds and thousands of people and tens of thousands of people as part of community. They have to be people that like and trust you, or have a specific thing where they raise their hand and say, yes, I need that, or yes, I want to learn about that, or yes, I need some guidance or answers to questions about my kind of unique situation. But these are good. It's an audience that has the potential to do business with us. So I'm going to focus on getting people into that sort of audience package where I do have an email of theirs, so I can reach out to them and market to them on a regular basis, or guide them through the community and the materials that are there. So that's going to be the focus. And then the other area that's going to happen is I'm going to be working on where the courses, and the majority of the courses, the smaller courses, there won't be any charge for them. And then any other kind of bigger fundamental courses, it'll be one payment for lifetime access to them. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to be charging a lot more money for the cohorts or group classes that are supplemented by the courses. We're going to be doing those, covering the starting, the building, and the growing of your education business. And then the other thing is, we're going to be doing a lot more on the service side of it. And what that means is we're going to do it for people and with people. So it's like do it yourself is the course part. And then it's like there's the cohort one where we actually work on content, is the done with you. And then after that, there's going to be the services side where it's the done for you part. So that bottom end of it is where I'm going to be focusing on to generate the revenues, not necessarily in the sales of the courses. And this is a bit of a pivot, because if you look at most people selling courses, the focus is on the course content, bonuses. Majority of stuff is either large, huge, honking courses, and it's not easy to earn money with that anymore. And I don't think it's easy to earn a good income in the long term with just a membership site. It's exciting to have a membership site. And of the people that I know that I've seen that did have membership sites where they had passive income, and they were getting a recurring income, what often happens is they don't last as long as you would like, because you either get tired of creating content where you are the one creating the content, or the people that are in your membership site don't create user-generated content enough to keep other people engaged, or more importantly, bring new people into it with that membership. So you're on the content hamster wheel, and it's like you're always working on it. So a lot of the membership sites that I've seen, they may last 2 or 3 years, but then the person that owns it gets tired or busy, or something else comes along. and they're going to end up going to the services and the other part of running an education business, which is kind of cool, and where I think things are going to be going. How long have I been talking? 45 minutes. I just rant on this stuff just because I like talking about it. It's a lot of fun. For me personally, we're going to be in the services side. That's where the majority of my revenue is going to come from, and the website is not going to necessarily be about the blog posts, the information that's on there. It's going to be all packaged up in the newer community software. And that's the one, actually, if I go, let me just take a look. I'll just go in the background here. Actually, a beta tester for this one. It's Fluent Community. And I have an affiliate link if you want to work on this one. Just open up Fluent Community. Hopefully it's the right one. It's actually fluentcommunity.co, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try this one. I'm just opening it up in the background here. Where's the one? They haven't even announced it yet. So no, excuse me, it's not even out yet. So I would think actually they're supposed to have their first release, I think this week, maybe tomorrow. So that, simple community thing and the focus on doing stuff simple by just getting involved and teaching people or providing information or live cohorts or personalized service within your community, supplemented by the YouTube videos that you're creating as part of your marketing. That's the pivot that I'm personally making. And I think it's going to be a big part kind of moving forward. So I think I'm going to end it there today. We didn't get much questions, which is fine. I do these every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. If you're watching it after, please like and subscribe to the channel. There's a link below, and I'll put any of the links that I mentioned, like Fluent Community and GLASP and those ones in as well. And there's usually videos that are on the Training Sites site. And I'll show you where they are. Just opening this one's up there. So this one is actually, all of the YouTube videos are here at trainingsites.io/tutorial. And here's the, some of the ones. There's the blueprint that's there, stuff about using your age, how to, 5-minute codes, how to create video titles for YouTube, prompts to use for building your course. So these are all available videos that are here from YouTube with additional materials like some of the summaries, key takeaways, videos, links. All of those materials will be made available from the YouTube stuff as part of the community or supplemental to the community. So if you want access to any of those and any of the additional resources, download links and stuff that isn't on YouTube, you want them here, you can certainly go to trainingsites.io and hit the join button, and you should hopefully, trainingsites.io/join. Join up there and you'll get access to all of the videos that I've done and all the videos that I will do moving forward as it relates to starting, building, and growing education business. So hopefully you had some fun today. Again, if you do have questions, join, put it in the main community area there, and I'll do my best to help you out. And like and subscribe to the channel. It's James. I'm going to bring it in for landing. We'll talk to you probably tomorrow when I do another video and live stream it with 0 edits directly to YouTube. So take care. Expect the best. We'll see you tomorrow.